Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nadj and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. We're back.
We are back.
Regular live show. No, well, never regular.
The irregular live show.
Welcome to your morning sip of local news, what's happening, and
Real world mess. I almost forgot it.
let's go back to this. I'm Nadj Nicole, singer-songwriter, inspired to be a fashionista and mom of a little pop star.
Okay. I am J Street Jr., singer-songwriter, photographer, artivist, and I am for the children.
For the children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the children.
For the children.
For the children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the show.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say that.
Really? That's funny.
I really was like for the child. Make sure you listen back to the replay of this episode on WJVSradio.com, Delaware's own Grown Folks Radio. So there are 2 Black radio stations in Delaware. So my dad, and then the one that Hanif is on. It's owned by a Black man. So
yeah, by Carey, Harmon Carey, a really significant guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, quite frankly, because both of those are significant. Like,
yes,
in our blickety black city of Wilmington, we got a Black-owned FM radio station that you could actually turn on the radio and an internet. We got all of the things. We got you covered on all of the places. So yeah.
And speaking of which, put this on your calendar now. November 15th is the 3-year anniversary of WJVS Radio. It's going to be a party. Nadj and Jay are hosting. And it's going to be like 6 DJs. It's going to be a party. So, what are we talking about today? Today, we is going to talk about the election breakdown because we vote tomorrow.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have some very big news, so you want to stay tuned for that.
She won $1 million.
Y'all would not see me. I would disappear. And then we are going to talk about Pop the Balloon dating show that I'm obsessed with.
That I have no idea what she's talking about. Yeah.
All right, temperature check.
Hot, cold.
All right, Jay, how you feeling? What's going on?
I'm good. This is my favorite time of year. It's not officially fall, but listen, when I can wake up and put on
You're
a hoodie.
falling in love with the hoodies again.
I never fell out of love with hoodies. I just can't wear them. I am not the middle schooler who can be out here in 90-degree weather with a hoodie
telling
on.
you.
Because if I could, I would be.
I don't understand those types of children.
God bless them.
I don't understand the hoodies, the sweatpants, the sneakers. Like, I'm sweating thinking about it.
That is more gangster than I could ever imagine. I could not pull that off.
They be on the boardwalk like that.
I don't.
And y'all know the boardwalk, like, it's direct heat.
I am at my happiest in a hoodie. So I wish I could do that. And because it's that time of year, I got on my jeans right now. I'm in boots. You know what I'm saying? Boots, bang, high five. So that in and of itself makes me just a happier person. I don't like summer. I was done with summer by Clifford Brown pretty much.
Well,
No, we disagree.
Clifford Brown was...
No, it's just the heat was unbelievable. The show was the series was fantastic. Was a lot. But yeah,
that was a lot. That was a rough week.
Yeah, and past that, I'll just talk about it now. Like, I'm wearing my little medal. You know,
look at his medal. You gotta do the YouTube hand. Put your hand behind it.
I don't know what that means.
It means, I don't know. The YouTubers do it. So put your hand behind it like that, like that.
Okay.
YouTube hand. Look at that.
And I got a Morehouse hoodie on because I just got back from a small town just north of Pittsburgh running a Tough Mudder. And I didn't go last year because I had a musical engagement, actually a Black Joy event. And
I don't remember that gig, but
at Winterthur.
I don't remember it.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because we did 2 shows. And it really put me in a good place. Morehouse Black men are different. And it's a different conversation it's a different way for me to be. There's code switching all over the place, even within Black culture, if you think about it. And I'm saying a lot just to say that it puts me in a space that I miss. It puts me in the place where, in some ways, I hate to say this, but number one, like I'm definitely not necessarily the smartest person in the room, and I'm definitely not necessarily the most accomplished person in the room. And I can have conversations that I couldn't have with a lot of other people. If that sounds snobby, I apologize.
I'm offended.
Exactly. But it's a different thing. It's a different experience. And I really miss it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about the Tough Mudder specifically for me that I really enjoy outside of the fact that I'm doing something physical is the Tough Mudder specifically, it's actually not competitive. And like my daughter asked me, I mean, it is competitive because you're racing, but it's not really a race that you're trying to win, because the cool thing about it is you literally can't finish the course without help from somebody. There are obstacles that you cannot complete without another human helping you literally over. Yes. And it really creates this sort of, and a little bit false kind of bond, but like it really matters. Like, you know, we're all trying to get this stuff. And I remember specifically, there's this tiny old, like little white lady. She must have been 90 pounds maximum, probably in her 60s. And she pulls up and she's running by herself. And there's this one obstacle in particular where it's like this giant spinning triangle. And you have to get over it and into the next one. It's really super heavy. And there's no way she could have done it by herself. And she was like, hands out. So we're like, duh, we got you. And we pull her over, helped her over, helping each other over. And at the end, gave her a big hug, and we all kept running. And it's just like a beautiful sort of moment where everyone is just doing the challenge to the best of their ability. And I am generally, outside of being sleepy, fulfilled with that camaraderie and just the experience. So because of the season and that experience, I am generally charged up for the rest of this year. This is when you'll see me, honestly, be very productive, because it's me in my happy place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, Arts by Angela.
Hey, Irina.
And Angelova.
She has the really cool paintings that are all like, I can't describe them, but she was she's often at Nataki's events.
Okay.
And she has these big, like sort of, they almost look like big, starry, flowery, colorful things. And they all kind of have their own theme where they're like, you know, sort of like women as birds and flowers, but they're really big and colorful. And they kind of have this dreamy feel to them. So she's got really dope art.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for watching. How are you?
I am good. Y'all know I went to the Midwest and I'm just readjusting. And I'm going to do my big announcement.
Yeah, just drop it.
So, in 2 weeks, I will be getting a hysterectomy. For those who don't know what that is, I am having a part of my uterus removed, which means I will no longer be able to have children. Yes, I am very young for this. Yes, I've had a lot of issues over the course of my life since I started my period, very young. And after, different doctors and going through different treatments and tests and things, this was the best option for my life. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I feel like women are afraid to have these conversations out loud. I actually stumbled upon the conversation with another woman, and she actually grabbed my hand and she said to me, "I'm so glad we're having this conversation because more of us need to have it."
Why do you feel like it's something taboo for you all to talk about, even amongst yourselves?
Oh, because people make periods seem like you're the bane of their existence.
Tell me more.
I mean, from an early age as kids, once you have your period, like people make fun of you for it. And vaginal health and,
like boys make fun of you for it.
Yeah, boys and girls. Some girls do too.
Why would a girl make fun of a girl for having a period?
Because girls are mean. Because girls are mean.
People are mean, but like I don't even understand. Like they have them too. So how could it? What are you making fun of? That's like me saying. I mean, I do it very jokingly, but that's like being, you're light skinned. Like I don't.
It happens. And then also there are a lot of women who don't have the conversations with their children, their daughters, about menstrual cycles, about, sexual education, about female health.
Yeah.
So it's very hush hush, and a lot of women suffer in silence, me being one of them. Like, my family knows, but you know, it's been a struggle for quite some time. It's gotten worse over time. um and I'm just ready to move on. I'm ready to not to live a pain-free life, and you know, in that sense.
Do you know, I mean, I'm not expecting you to be like a statistic book, but like, are there a lot of women who are sort of potential candidates for her hysterectomy at a young age, or you're kind of in a very rare bracket? I know that you're on the rarer side.
Yeah, I'm in the
but
rare
like,
bracket. Most women don't get them before like 37,
like, I wonder
36,
what.
37.
Okay.
And the statistic that I did read was 68% of women end up having a hysterectomy between like 40 and 50.
Really? Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually really significant.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I know, but like, generally,
Oh, Rich, thank you.
why are there so many women who get hysterectomies? I know a little bit about your situation, but I'm imagining there's a spectrum of reasons. Like,
That I don't know.
okay.
I will say that Black women have more hysterectomies than white women. I know that Black women have higher percentage of fibroids and tumors and cysts, and reproductive issues in general. There are a bunch of different reasons, you know, between hormonal issues or endometriosis, adenomyosis, pelvic congestion syndrome, uterine cancer. Like, there are all kinds of tilted uterus, prolapse.
I've heard all the
kinds of
terms.
stuff.
I guess it's an obvious point.
Ectopic pregnancies, like, there's all kinds of reasons why your reproductive organs, you know, are wonky and you need to have part of them or all of it removed.
Yeah, I don't think that men, and I'm not here to try to act like, you know, I'm some giant super savior empathizer, but I don't, men will really never understand, for obvious reasons, how, I guess, is it fair to say complicated, complex it is?
Oh yeah.
Is that a fair word?
The female organs, like, I'm 33 this year.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning things. And it like my brain is like exploding when I'm learning so much. That, because you think, okay, you have a vagina, you have the pieces of the vagina, you have the cervix, you have the babies and your ovaries and the release of the egg.
It's just so much to do.
There's so much stuff, and there's so much. And I'm just,
and it's
overwhelming. But I'm glad that I am where I am now, because it took me 10 years to get to this point with one doctor, and I switched the doctor. I've been with her 2 years, and we finally got to this point because she was thorough. And we explored different options. We changed my diet in some areas. We changed the things that I was using on my body.
You were trying to avoid it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it came down simply to medications that were unhealthy. Like, I felt one of the medications was something that you could only take for like a year and a half because it was bad on your body. And then birth control. And I'm like, or a hysterectomy. And I was like,
I mean, even that, as I'm thinking about, like, okay, so this is what you have to go through to basically make it so that you can't have kids. And for me, I'm in, you know, I got snipped, and it's literally,
yours was a 10-minute procedure.
It's a 10-minute procedure.
You was awake. Y'all was probably laughing.
But no, that isn't true. That is false. There was a man with giant hairy hands.
Oh.
I'm not comparing, but I was terrified. It was a...
Oh my God. Hairy hands. Wow. I'm so sorry.
Right. But my point,
as opposed to my 4-hour procedure.
And I'm out in a half hour, totally awake,
and I'm
at an event the next day, walking around. You know what I'm saying? Just putting ice on my balls, hoping that everything is fine. And that's it for me. And I can even get undone, and it might or might not work. So I'm just saying, we appreciate you, women, women, never say female.
No,
never say female.
Don't call me female.
We appreciate you women for all that you do and all that you have done. There would be nothing without you, and I could not do it. God bless you all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm very nervous. I'm scared as hell. I'm be honest. I am terrified. I have tons of things running through my mind, but thankfully I have a great support system, and I'll keep you posted. And after surgery, I'll send updates or I'll post updates so y'all know how I'm doing. And I'll be out of commission for a little while, but I'll have my phone. So check in on you, girl.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Bam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And real quick, Rich said, "Thank you for being brave enough to share. That takes courage to be vulnerable. Hope this inspires others to be more honest so they can normalize hard conversations, issues." Exactly.
Men.
Exactly.
Men, don't be afraid. You don't have to have your girl all kinds of crazy pills and all kinds of stuff. Just, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
All right. Flowers. I wanted to give flowers to Laura LaRosa of Black Girl Grinding. She is a journalist that is currently on The Breakfast Club. She's from Delaware. And she is doing a phenomenal job. She was guest hosting on The Breakfast Club for like the last year. And then while Jess Hilarious is out on maternity leave, she's been holding it down, and she's super smart, super cool. And I'm excited to see where she goes from here. She's been on TMZ. She's done a bunch of stuff. But she's Delaware's own, and I'm like really, really proud. So yeah.
Yeah, great.
And you can go look at the clips, the recent clips, like she's all in them. And then you go follow her page and Black Girl Grinding. All right. Tomorrow is the day.
So, I know that some of you already understand the process, but we've been having conversations and a lot of people don't. And that's okay. And I'm not trying to act like collectively that we're the most educated people on how it works, but I think the bottom line, to keep things very simple, specifically for Delaware and Wilmington, is tomorrow is more important than the presidential election, because the choices that are made tomorrow are at the local level, and the offices that will be determined by the end of the day will have a significant likely effect on how our city and state moves. Tomorrow is the primary.
Yeah.
Meaning that the different parties, Republicans, Democrats, sometimes we have libertarians, Green Party, tomorrow we decide who will be the final nominee as a Democrat for mayor. For, Republicans, but there's not a Republican challenger, but we're just determining who will be the nominee of each party. And because Delaware and Wilmington specifically is extremely Democratic, it's a blue state in a really blue city, tomorrow we effectively choose who the mayor will be. You still have to vote.
And the council members, right?
All of the things.
Okay.
Like, unless there's a really legitimate, and this is mainly Newcastle
so governor,
County.
lieutenant governor, the mayors, the county, the city, all that.
There's a lot of offices that are all going to be determined tomorrow, because there aren't either there are no Republican challengers, or the Republicans really don't have a chance with these specific offices. So if you care about who's going to be mayor, tomorrow is the day. If you care about who's going to be governor, tomorrow is the day. November is important. Like, we want Kamala. Oh, well, I'm not going to say we. I know everybody don't agree with me. But like, the presidential election is in November. Tomorrow is just as important. What?
Rich said, last election, 4,000 Wilmingtonians cast votes out of a population of 71,000.
And
what?
And so this is the thing. And if you look back, I don't care what your opinion is of who should have won and who you wanted to win. Like, one of the good things about the mayoral race this year specifically is there are only 2 people running for the Democratic Party. But this is why turnout is going to be really important.
Yeah.
I have my opinion about, listen, I would like for Velda to win. If Carney wins, we'll be fine. But my choice is Velda. That's my opinion. Okay, take it or leave it. Now, it's going to be a close race. This is a very black city. It's just a statistical fact. If Velda is able to get out people to vote who are the black and brown residents of the city, and I hate to make it a race thing, I really do, she'll bring it home. But the trick is getting people out.
Remember that movie when Chris Rock was president?
Yes.
And he rented the buses?
Yes.
Can we... Who we got to call at Dart?
You make a great point.
Who we got to call?
You make a great point because at a certain point, it's like you just got to pull
up. I
up.
can fit 7 in my truck.
And those 7 could make the difference. That's the thing. Those 7 and like this is the election that really matters.
Time show.
So please, for everyone who knows politics, you already know. But like if you know someone who really doesn't get it, really try to explain to them that tomorrow is the significant day specifically for Wilmington. Now, if you lived in a different state or you live, down in Sussex County, it's a different dynamic. But up here specifically and for governor, like it's going to be determined tomorrow. And those offices really do make a difference. So I told you specifically who I support for mayor, and I'm not going to go down my whole list because honestly, if you looked at how I really am going to vote, you'd be like, what in the world? Because I don't do anything inside the box for the most part, for a lot of different reasons. But my point is, make your own decisions, educate yourself, but you have to fundamentally understand that tomorrow is really important, if not more so than the presidential one.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, and I'll stop here because I could keep going. The mayor and the governor and the council people are going to have more of an impact on your day-to-day existence in the state of Delaware than Kamala versus Trump. That matters.
Yes, it does.
But the closer, the local elections are the ones that make the difference.
Yeah.
So vote tomorrow. Like tomorrow is the day.
Yes.
If you have to pick a day to vote, if you can only vote one day, do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay? I'll leave it at that.
Do most people have off?
Yes, schools are closed. Like not most people, but it's not a national, voting day. But like schools are closed. Like your kids will be home. Whatever. Like
the public schools.
Yeah. Yeah. So tomorrow is the day. Make your own decision. Tomorrow.
We voting tomorrow. We voting tomorrow. We're gonna pick who we want for our city. We voting. All right. Back to school has happened.
Yeah, thank God.
All the little children and the college students are in their seats learning something. I would like to say that we really, I need people to be a little bit smarter when it comes to posting their back to school stuff for their children.
You say this every year.
I don't know why I have to keep saying it. Like, listen, if y'all just listen to me the first time, we got 1,000 more than we did last year.
Right.
Stop putting your child's school and age and full name on those boards when you're posting.
I mean, just add social security number and address.
I mean, do you understand that child trafficking is a real thing? People walk up into schools and take children all the time. Like, I don't understand why do you think that's a good idea? And then y'all be the first ones to be upset when little Johnny go missing. Well, you put his whole business out on the internet, so we know where he's at. Like, I know you can post going to first grade, so excited. My favorite dinner is mac and cheese. Like, I don't understand why y'all have to put so much information. Stop it. Protect our babies. And we're going to circle back to protect our babies in a little bit. Moving on, Soul Rebels.
I feel obligated.
Jay was enamored.
Listen.
He was enamored.
Yes. And I made a post about it. And maybe my favorite place on the planet is New Orleans, if I'm really honest with myself. There's a couple of other places that I really love. I love Montreal, which is also French, interestingly. And I don't think about that.
Montreal.
But if they're outside of the humidity, New Orleans is the one place away from my home that really feels like home to me. I also love Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But so between the food and the music, the overall culture, I love that place. And so when I hear, even to the point where like I'm not generally a dancer, but like I remember the first time that I went to New Orleans.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. I remember the first time I went
Oh
to New
my God. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
And I'm out there, and the horn band came out, and by 5 minutes later, I am in the parade.
Were you tore up?
Yes,
Okay.
with a hurricane, slurricane in my hand, bouncing down the street, just getting it. And I mean, in my space, couldn't be happier.
Woo.
And the band last Wednesday at UAE did that same thing to me, because like I forgot how much certain musicians and how much certain kinds of music just turns me on, because I came to the spot a little bit just like, not feeling like doing it. And I'm telling you, within 30 seconds, I'm crouched down with my camera and I'm like, I'm bouncing. I'm like, I'm in my space. And the music was fantastic. It was it was almost all original music. And what it reminded me, say whatever you want. These are my opinions. I've seen every single act at UAE, and there have been some phenomenal acts. I'm biased. Some of the groups from one of the groups from Uganda was like out of this world. Like, and it really, like, you felt like, you know how music can just communicate a sentiment to you, like you feel like you are from there when it's really good. Like if you listen to certain Irish music, like it's like, oh, this feels like Ireland. You know what I'm saying? No, but fine. But it can do that. It reminded me, and the gospel group did the same thing for me, just how unique and special Black American music is. Because especially New Orleans, because of the gumbo in every way, you know, obviously there's African rhythms and culture and Zulu, all of these things are in there. But one of this, like, you know, you think about hip hop music, like for whatever reason, Black Americans have taken all those aesthetics and made it something unique that everybody else wants to do, but can't really do. And I saw it again, and it's just like, it makes me feel so proud to be from here. I understand where I came from, how I got here, all those things, but like what they do and the way they put it together and bring it with the spirit of joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the blues, but like the way they made everybody feel good, it just means so much to me. And it was a reminder, as someone who does really, really heavy music a lot, and that's not even my personality, it reminded me and re-inspired me to like, I talk about playing music all the time, how you're playing, they were up there playing, and everyone else got that vibe, and everyone was up dancing and moving, and it's just a beautiful thing. So it just, for me, was another reminder of how wonderful, as someone who loves reggae music from Jamaica, all of the things, you know, but boy, what we do here as Black people in America is unbelievable, just the best. And it was fantastic. Yeah.
Kevin Hart has been canceled
At
by
least temporarily.
Right, by some Delawareans and Delaware State alumni. Let me pull up the thing he said. So he was on the Breakfast Club, and I just mentioned Lauren LaRosa because she is a Delaware State alum, and he was on there, and I don't know what the conversation was prior, but she said she went to Del State, and he basically said that Del State is just niggas on campus.
I mean, it's not a real HBCU.
And that's not a real HBCU. And people are upset.
Yeah.
Upset. I've never. So let me just be. I've never been a fan of Kevin Hart.
I loved him early. He made me laugh as hard as anyone could make me laugh.
I have never ever been a fan. I think because he reminds me of the little boys who like got on my last nerve in school. Like funny. I never thought they were funny. They were annoying. They were always disrupting class.
Okay,
and
that
it was like,
me.
Sit your ass down somewhere. Shut up. So, and this is a perfect example of that. This is just an adult version of it.
No, I get that.
But he didn't even go there.
Well, it's just a fundamental, and if you, I think we talked about before.
Why would you disrespect it? What kills me is, regardless of how you feel, for you to publicly disrespect an HBCU that is doing extremely well, that has done a lot for its community, for its students, and the fact that we are in a very sticky time with funding for HBCUs and what is it, where like the PMI, predominantly white PWIs are now not in or accepting as many Black and brown students because certain regulations have been canceled. Like the only thing I want, the only thing that I want to hear about HBCUs is how good they are and what they're going to continue to do.
Well, I feel like he didn't necessarily.
And then you disrespected the people who go there. I went to Del State.
So I try not to get offended by stuff like this, and I'm not like deeply offended, but it was an ignorant comment because they are a real HBCU by any standard.
Yes.
And they're actually one that is doing a lot of really good stuff. Like they're one of the excellent HBCUs. If I hadn't gone to Morehouse, I likely would have gone there. I have a lot of friends who went there and who do dope stuff. And, I feel like, to your point, like, listen, there are some HBCUs that I wouldn't recommend one attend because you're not going to get a good education. And I hate to say that, but there are some that aren't so great. But at the end of the day, HBCUs are one of the great American institutions, like just like gospel music, just like hip hop. There's nothing in the world like an HBCU. There's nothing, if you've ever walked through a real HBCU campus, there's a feeling and a vibe that even, I went to Morehouse in Atlanta. But if I go to A&T and go to their homecoming and walk through their campus, or if I go to FAM, or if I go to Del State, it's still the same general vibe. There are differences, but like, it's a beautiful experience. And we're talking about, we just had this, I just did a whole rant about how beautiful Black culture is in America. That's one of the shining examples. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's nowhere else where you can get that experience and where you can just disappear for 4 years and not even have to think about white people. You can just disappear and just be Black. And it's just all education and it's just, you can disappear into a little Black bubble for 4 years. And generally speaking, you should just never disrespect HBCUs. It's almost like, it's like, how I had to learn in a negative way. Like, don't say female. Like, just say nothing negative about HBCUs ever if you're Black.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, everything can be criticized, but like, listen, stop it.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have no material left.
Well, he definitely is not funny anymore. And that was not helpful for his career because, come on, bro, don't talk about HBCUs. And Del State is a real HBCU for sure. My brother plays Q. Never mind. But go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Wait. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Pop the Balloon dating show.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
now I'm about to learn. Go ahead.
I have a new obsession. I kept seeing these clips of these people lined up with red balloons and a host and a young lady or a young man, depending on the lineup, right? So I started watching them and I realized that it is a dating show and it originated on YouTube and there are many different versions. My favorite one is the one with the Black girl host with the all white background. So the premise of the show is there's like 8, maybe 10 men or women lined up with red balloons and a toothpick.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. Go ahead.
Yep, so they're lined up.
Across from each other?
No,
all men and women?
No. So say, for instance, this episode is a woman. right? So
you're the woman.
So I'm the woman.
And then
I'm off camera.
You're off camera.
The host is standing next to the line of men.
There's a line of men holding balloons.
Holding red balloons.
Red balloons. Okay.
So she says, "Welcome your single lady." So when the girl walks in, the men have to choose whether or not they're going to hold their balloon or pop it. If you pop the balloon, it means you don't want to try and date this person.
So shouldn't there be the caveat that this is reality TV and there's likely some scripting to it?
I don't think there's there's no scripting to this. This is like, yeah, they do casting, like they come and
there's no scripting to this.
No.
Okay, continue.
No, not the one that I watch. It may be for other ones. Like there are some parody ones, but the one that I watch, there's no scripting.
All right, go ahead.
And you can tell because, child, the responses and the way people's hands be shaking.
So if they roll you out and I'm like, I'm like,
pop.
Okay, go ahead.
So then if a balloon pops before any questions or anything is asked, the host will take you up to that gentleman who popped the balloon and say, "Why did you pop your balloon?"
And you can see her, right?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So he may say, "I don't like her outfit.
Okay.
I don't like her weave.
Okay.
She's
is
just not my type." Yep.
Okay,
I haven't seen any with white people, but it's like
it's all black?
So far, I've only seen black and Spanish.
Oh, okay. So this is all,
Yeah, and maybe like biracial, but I haven't seen any white people.
This is all brown people.
So, but there have been episodes of white people. I just haven't seen them yet.
Okay.
So, if they pop the balloon, they'll find out and she'll go like, "Is this somebody you would have dated?" And she can say like, "Yeah, he's handsome," or "No, it's not my type." Sometimes they get really mean. Sometimes they'll be like, "You look like one girl called a guy a Ninja Turtle." Okay. "You look like a Ninja Turtle." But if no one pops, the girl can choose to pop a balloon, or the girl will choose to pop maybe 2 or 3 balloons. And
like,
then
nah.
And then she has to go up to them and say why they had their balloon unpopped and
she
why.
Could be petty too. All right. Okay.
So it's the same thing, vice versa, if it was a male bachelor in a line of women. So the first thing that gets me when I'm watching this. Oh, wait, real quick. Michelle Harley said, "I have to agree with Nadj regarding Kevin Hart. Although he has a right to his opinion, it was disrespectful and degrading. Hopefully he will be more selective where he voices his personal opinion." Exactly. You got to be careful, especially when our schools and our kids are suffering right now. We need all the uplifting possible. But okay, so back to the dating show. The first thing I noticed was how people were responding to rejection. Like, if I understand, some people talk about others being shallow, and I understand that I may not be someone's type. Like, it's a possibility that someone may look at me and be like, "No, I want."
Yeah, like, I don't like skin. I don't like.
I don't like light skin. I don't like skinny girls. I don't like you bald headed skittle diddles. Who knows? Like, I'm not somebody's type. So for me, that's rejection, right?
Sure, which is a natural part of life.
Right.
Okay.
So if he were to say to me, "You're just not my type. You're a beautiful woman, but it's just not, not what I'm looking for." Okay, that's fine. I appreciate that. Thank you. But these girls they be so angry, and the men be so angry, and they come back.
Rejection is tough.
Yeah.
Not that it's okay to react like a lunatic because you got rejected, but I'm not surprised.
But I think the issue is that when you pop the balloon, they pop the balloon really aggressively.
It's literally triggering. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
But I'm just like, y'all need to really work on rejection. Your responses.
Yeah, but like, it's a setup. Like,
But still, have some decorum. I mean, dang.
Yeah,
and the other thing is,
but it's not natural. It's on TV. It's embarrassing. Like, you setting up, you're putting it in a, like, I mean, you shouldn't.
But you got on the show.
You did choose to get on the show.
So if you're getting on the show, then you should. Like,
don't you think they cast people who they probably think are going to be explosive for TV? You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Well, yeah. But still, like, you should go into this with some decorum. Period. Some decorum, some manners.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to be. If he had,
you shouldn't go on the show. But yeah,
you shouldn't go on the show. But act like an adult, like, right. So the other thing is, I'm listening to all the responses. Mind you, I've watched 1,000 of these, and what I've noticed is, colorism is a big thing. Colorism is a really big thing. Also, people are extremely materialistic. Extreme. Like there was one girl.
How often have you heard someone say, "I don't like you because you're light skinned"?
Yes.
Okay.
I heard that several times.
Okay, cool. I
Yep.
was just curious. All right.
Yep.
Great.
Yep. And some of them, they don't even have to say the light skin thing or the brown skin thing. They'll pop all the brown skin girls or all the light skin girls or the light skin, like the light skin guys are losing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I was like, this is so effed up.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like it's a good thing for anyone involved, but go ahead.
So
yeah.
the other thing I'm noticing, they're extremely materialistic.
Oh,
Like
yeah, surprise.
one girl was on there. Now let me tell you how crazy this was. Her dress was cute, really cute. She was like, this dress is like $300. And she was upset that he had on some outdated Balenciagas or something. Mind you, the same dress came up on my timeline from Romwe or whatever for $23.99.
Okay, I respect that.
Girl.
I respect that.
Girl. And she was
But like, I'm happy to date the girl who will get a good looking dress for $23.99.
But the thing is,
did it look like $23.99?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no. I didn't know how much it looked like it cost. Because you know me, I find good stuff all the time. So
yeah,
you know.
Good job.
But the materialism, like it's so bad.
But don't you feel like you're not going to find generally marriage material in that setting? You know what I'm saying?
There have been some.
Okay.
There was a proposal and it was really nice and it was really cute.
Okay.
There have been some really decent guys, some really decent girls. There have been ones where the girl was the full package, but the guys felt like they were out of her league. So they all popped their balloon.
I mean, that's a fair, that happens.
Like there have been guys who have gone on there and he's like, there was a doctor and he was like, I'm ready to provide. And I want kids. I want a family. I don't have any children. And he was willing to accept a woman with children. And all the girls popped the balloon because they were like, there's no chemistry.
But
like,
no, you don't pop a balloon over that. This is,
I
don't know why I'm having this conversation.
Can you just indulge?
I am. I'm here. God. I'm here.
See, this is why I need to have girl talk because.
So, okay. I'm going to dive in. You wouldn't pop a balloon over chemistry. That's just a stupid pop. Fine.
You're not going to have that much chemistry in 5 minutes.
Real quick.
Okay.
Oh my God, let's talk more about this show. All right, let's talk about this. So, like,
no, you flip your hair.
So, what I wanted to say was like, I just don't really think you should ever pop something over chemistry. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, every time they be like, I just don't feel no chemistry. I don't feel the energy. I'm like, he stood there for 5 minutes. You ain't even talked to the man.
Yes. And so I'm going to indulge this. All right. If the setting in itself is going to prevent potentially chemistry, sometimes chemistry can bleed through and it's already there. And
yes.
But if you can't say whether or not you have chemistry with someone in that setting. So if everything else is lined up and looking pretty ding dang good,
right?
You take the date,
right?
And then you know if there's chemistry.
Right.
Chemistry matters.
But the girls and the guys be like, nah, it's just not there. Okay.
What if she had bad breath and you couldn't tell on camera?
Well, they're close.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm sure the host.
They would say.
I'm sure the host would say something because she messy. I love her, but she messy. The other thing I've noticed is a lot of people need to learn to look in the mirror before they go on something like this because their idea of what looks good. You don't think they have like makeup people and all that kind of stuff for this show? I don't really understand what it is. No, because
is it on network TV?
No, it's on YouTube.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And clips are on Facebook. So there have been times like men will come in. I don't know. I guess this is a style. I can't stand it with the high water pants. And like dress shoes and like everything from the waist up is great, but then them high water tight pants.
Is that a new thing?
I don't know. I hate it. I mean,
listen, I couldn't socks, be the
like.
Listen, I fully understand that it is very likely that if I was ever on a show like that I too would get popped because of my inability to dress sophisticated.
No, I'm sure that if you because they said to show up, like basically you want to be chose. So dress how you would, what makes you feel sexy. But my thing is, I need to understand what y'all consider to be sexy because some of these outfits, Like women, undergarments.
Tell me.
Like,
what am I missing?
wear Spanx or wear
The dudes don't care about that. I think.
Yes, they do.
Don't.
Yes,
How
y'all
you gonna
do.
tell me what I care
You
about?
need to wear slips. You need to wear the right underwear. You need to make sure that the bra is not dingy and hanging off. It fits.
I mean, okay, dingy. A
correctly.
dirty bra is gross. Okay, that's a different thing. If I
Like,
see a
make sure you don't have wig blindness. Like, the wig blindness is real.
Wait, wig blindness.
Wig blindness.
What do you mean?
Basically, you don't see how cockeyed and shifted your wig is.
Got you.
Like, if you're gonna wear weave, sis, go off. Get that 27-inch bust down. Great. But make sure that you brush the back.
I don't think guys notice.
I listen. I don't know, but there are just some little housekeeping things I need people to do.
I think guys should pay attention to what you're saying because we don't know. But I think
no, women need to pay attention to what I'm saying.
Sure, from your angle, but I'm telling you that
here's the thing for me: when you don't pay attention to those little things, there are bigger things that you're also not paying attention to.
Okay, can I speak as a man?
Go ahead.
Like, we don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. You all do, and we appreciate it. I love that you make sure you don't have a dingy bra, but we ain't gonna notice.
I'll tell you one thing. You know them summer dresses?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you mean? I mean
summer dresses, like the maxi dresses that women wear during the summer.
Yeah.
There are times when women will have them on and will be out. You can't see it in the house necessarily because the way that the light hits it. But when you're outside, you can see right through it and see. That is not good.
That's my point.
I hate you.
Like
no, that is. Mm-mm.
Yep,
that is not.
But
mm-mm.
For me,
ladies, listen to me. And men, if you're gonna have dreads, get a retwist.
Listen to this, guys.
Yes. Locks. If you're gonna have locks, get a retwist. If you're gonna have a haircut, get your shape up, or make sure that the hairline is straight. Like, or if you're gonna do the natural, put some moisturizer in your hair. Make
ladies,
sure.
Don't have a BBL and don't stink. Otherwise, we're good.
Make sure that.
You wanted me to win dogs. I'm here. All right, go ahead. I'm just keeping it a bean. Like, we don't care. But if you want to know, guys, how to get it right, follow all of these tips.
Also, I feel like everybody is struggling with questions. Like, she's like, do you have a question for them? And the questions that they're asking, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a good one. That's cool. But like, they're very basic questions.
Like
I'm like,
what?
like, oh, this one. I hate this question because y'all don't know what 50-50 means. How do you, what do you feel, or what's your opinion on gender roles or roles in the relationship? That question irritates me because the person asking it typically has no freaking idea what their idea of 50-50 relationships are.
Like, they don't. Tell me more. I don't know.
So like, the answers that you get are like, oh, well, I definitely want my girl to, I want her to be independent, but like, if I'm working all day, I want her to make sure that my food is cooked and she's taking care of my kids.
It doesn't make sense. So he's just saying his fantasy that could never even be possible.
Or the girl will say, I want somebody to provide for me. Like, I don't want our first dates to be, I want our dates to be basic. Like, I want to go skydiving and like, I need an allowance.
Very soon, we're going to have an additional show called Sip Something, and it's going to talk about all this stuff. So if you have topics, as you're listening to us discuss this right now, that you would like us to talk about, put them there. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Hanif said, guys, got to make sure your locks is fresh. That's right.
Sure. That makes sense to me. Because women pay attention to those kinds of things, as well they should. They don't want a funky dude. Like, I get it.
Yes.
Cool. That makes sense.
Yes. There was a great question. Nobody had asked this, and this was on a different show that I happened to catch. When was the last time you were tested? And how often do you get tested? Now, that is a question.
Fair enough.
That is and can you produce the results? Like, don't just ask the question and go and be okay with the answer. Can you produce the results so that I know that you've been tested and you are negative? Like, nobody asked that question.
Fair enough.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a little invasive, but if you're
on a dating show, already bold enough in my face to tell me I look ugly like a Ninja Turtle.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just, and then a lot of people have like the audacity. Like, there was a man on there that was basically, I can't remember what his name was, but he's cringe, completely cringe. And he basically was like, y'all are not up to my level. like for me to pick y'all, I would be downgrading myself. And he was not no prize.
That's typically the case.
That was the Ninja Turtle.
That's people. Yep. That. I feel like that's a big defense mechanism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm making it up maybe, but like I feel like that's his way of avoiding the Ninja Turtle problem.
Right. I just feel like a lot of our dating people out there, no matter what age, there is this really sad idea that somebody is supposed to take care of you. Like,
no,
being taken care of means that you cannot expect of someone what you can't provide for them.
And
like,
I think
that's
every situation is extremely, unless you are coming from a very like 1950s state of mind where like you want the woman to be home cooking, not work, which is like
go to rural America and find one of them. Go to the Amish.
But I feel like now, as someone who is so far outside of the dating pool, I don't really have a real clue. I just kind of watch things, like this, and watch people post stuff online, and just kind of try to halfway
understand. But you
understand.
had your experiences.
Yeah, and so my point is that at this point, I feel like everything is very subjective. Like every situation is going to be extremely unique, right? Because, like, okay. I mean, even my situation, but like, okay, imagine you have, because it could go all over the place. You could have a man who is a truck driver who makes really good money. He can make like a good $200,000 a year running his truck all year. And, the conversation that he would have with a woman who is maybe a school teacher, right? They're going to divvy up their situation very differently than if, on the other hand, he dated a Wall Street woman, you know what I'm saying, who might make way more money than him.
Right.
And that's a completely different conversation and a completely different lifestyle, and either one could work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, all right, I bring home $200K, you only bring home 60 as a teacher, so we're going to do it this way.
Right.
And you're going to have to pick up responsibility here because I'm going to be gone, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Versus if I'm dating the Wall Street woman who is making millions of dollars a year, she might be like, listen, you can stop driving a little bit if you want to, number one.
Right.
But I'm gonna need you to make some barbecue every night when I get home.
That's the problem. They're not even getting to that point. Their answers are showing like, and I can speak to the female, the woman's experience. A lot of these girls are expecting them to do everything and them not inputting.
No, that's
anything.
absurd. And the vice versa is absurd.
And then the men are like, well, what can you do for me? Because if I'm going to provide you a lifestyle.
But don't you feel like, now that we're all of a sudden, I dug all the way in with this ding-dang conversation, don't you feel like fundamentally, this is why at the end of the day, the most important thing to me has always been chemistry. It's like, do I
even like you?
Do I like you as a person? And I think I'm fine. We're here. So this is my advice.
I don't know why you fought it so hard. You get on my nerves.
Just be happy.
Okay. I'm happy.
So my advice is chemistry first. That's my take on it. Like,
yes.
And I understand that like there are more complications, like money matters, all these, whether you're employing, all these, but like if the person was I'm careful here. If the person was 2,000 pounds, smelled bad, and you had no physical attraction to them, would you still be their friend? You know what I'm saying? Like, would y'all still be cool? Would you be like, yo, still, that's my homie. That's my homie, whatever. And either way, even if you would still like be cool with that person, you know what I'm saying? That is the starting point for me. Like, under any circumstance, would I still just want to be around this person because they're a cool person? Then you start thinking about the next things. Like, am I physically attractive? Are they attracted to me? But like, for me, the first thing is, can we get along as humans? And to me, the next thing is, if you like somebody and genuinely care about somebody, how do you treat each other?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it is a relationship, and it's like, in as much as it's very different from having a friend, like your best friend, like my homie, Mike or Terrence, whatever. Like we're good friends to each other because we like each other, and we have a certain,
right.
We're going to have a conversation, not because I'm being confrontational and trying to take a lead. It's just because like, yo, hey, how should we work this out?
But I think that the intention that these people are going in with is to find their forever match instead of just making genuine connections.
Yeah, but like for me, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, like that's where that's easy for me. Like I can tell, like, yo, We don't click.
But that's the thing. You're different. You come from the generation where you had to be face to face.
Yeah.
There was no the Instagram. There was no text messaging.
I had to learn how to have a phone conversation. Like, I remember when I was a kid, when I first got on the phone, when I would first start talking to girls, and you would never guess it because I can just talk forever now, but I had a list of topics in front of me. I wrote them down. No, I have no problem admitting it. I wrote a list of things to talk about, and I'd be like, oh boy. I'd be like, hi, so.
Oh my God.
What is your favorite?
That's what these men need.
But that's my point. You got to learn and you got to struggle. It's just like the first time you get on stage, it's going to be awkward probably.
We need dating classes because don't nobody know how to date. Don't nobody know how to talk to nobody no more. Because that's the point I'm trying to get at with this whole pop the balloon thing is there are a lot of people who don't know how to have a genuine conversation.
Yeah.
And I think of put myself in that position. I'm the bachelorette and there are a line of guys. I'm going to try and see, can I make you laugh? Are you going to make me laugh? Are you smiling at me? Are you engaged? You know, because my thing is, okay, physical attraction is a thing.
It is a thing. That is a thing.
Let's be honest. How someone's dressed also matters because if you're in a situation where they say, come your best, not come as you are, but come your best, put your best foot forward and you show up in some Timbs and a sweatshirt and some sweatpants, I'm not going to be too happy because to me, that shows that you don't care.
So,
and people use an excuse like, oh, well, this me.
Right.
No, you wouldn't show up to a wedding like that. You wouldn't show up to a funeral like that. You wouldn't show up, to an award ceremony.
Where you're going. It depends.
That's
what do you mean?
I'm saying. Those specific places, funeral, wedding, award ceremony, graduation. Are you going to show up in sweatpants and Timbs?
I was going to say that it doesn't matter. I was asking myself, does that matter to me? Because I generally don't care. But to your point,
they say come dressed as your best self.
If I was taking someone, even just to Nomad Bar for the first time, and she came with everything out, I'm going to be like, this is not comfortable for me. Like, this doesn't
and it's
seem
going both ways.
This doesn't seem appropriate.
Overdressed and underdressed. And then just some wild outfits in general. I'm sad for these people dating because
but fundamentally
you don't know how to talk to each other. You don't know how to take rejection.
Like you got to take L's. Like the amount
of
times,
gracefully.
The amount of times. One of the great things, as you're talking about it, another reason that I was able to learn how to have a conversation and how to deal with rejection is there's nothing more humbling than my little light-skinned tail showing up in Atlanta freshman year and being surrounded by not only just freakishly pretty women, but women who also come from good families with money, and me just being like, hey girl, what's your number?
Ew.
And I'm like, they look at you like, what did you just say to me?
Ew.
Like, get out of my face. And it's like, okay, that didn't work. Let me go back to the drawing board and start again. And you have to figure out, and you get told, no, it's sales. You're gonna get a lot of no's, and you have to deal with that rejection and not
the thing about it is
mess you up.
When you are rejected,
because I sounded stupid.
When you are rejected, not in a nasty way.
There is a malicious way to be rejected.
That's the problem. Cool. The responses are malicious. And it's like, well, me just saying you're just not my type isn't saying anything about your character. It's not saying anything about who you are as a person, anything. Mm-hmm. You're just not my type. Yeah. So you're attacking me because you're not my type. And I'm like, who raised y'all? And just the conversations alone, like.
I do believe in chemistry first.
Oh, I think the one thing that really irritates me, like above all, is when they immediately pop their balloon for a short guy. I think that makes me so angry.
Why? It's not their type.
But the thing is, your height doesn't determine whether or not you're a good man. It'd be different.
It's not your type.
It'd be different if you were like the
ugliest
thing,
it's
and
not your type.
you dressed horribly, like.
It's not your type.
I
There are,
don't
okay,
know.
and I'll keep it very simple.
Like, let the man talk. He might be the smoothest, sexiest man.
Doesn't matter. If
ever.
there's no physical attraction, what are you going to do with it? Like, so, okay, perfect example. And I think I'm trying to keep it as
For me,
as
face
unoffensive
and build. Those are
for
the two.
you.
Those are
for,
the two things.
for you. But like, okay, literally, that is no different than if a black guy's like, I only like black girls. That's it. So if he pops a balloon on a white girl because he doesn't like black girls, that's his type. You could say like, well, she might, but it's the same thing. It's a physical trait that you don't like. I don't
hate it. I hate
so
it.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like and
think
some
it's
women will
so
be like,
horrible.
he's too tall. He's 7'6". I can't. It's too much. I'm small. It's not going to work, and that's okay. And you know, some people think the short dudes are cute. Like I want my, you know what I'm saying? But it just if she's that, I know that that's not going to work because then sorry, I've been there.
This show, y'all have to watch it. Like, it's just so toxic, but so educating at the same time.
Yeah.
Educational. Like,
but
I'm obsessed.
I don't know how you sucked me into this.
I'm gonna send you some.
Like, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, you have to watch
after
it.
This conversation, I never gone back again.
We're watching it. You have to watch it. I have one in particular I'm gonna have you watch because it's diabolical. But I feel bad.
You have to learn to deal with rejection at every turn of life. And I have been rejected for everything that I've been accepted for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some women love me because of my hair, and some women are like, I don't like long-haired dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't be everything.
But also, the other thing
just like your music, you know?
Yeah.
I love this artivism idea. I don't want to hear anything about police brutality. Okay.
But for me, the biggest thing is stop expecting of others what you are not able or willing to bring to the table. Like, stop it. It's asinine, like completely. Y'all don't know what you're talking about because you don't. The funny part is it'd be the same people that have no idea which way is up or down in their life right now. None. But you expect someone who has everything organized and down packed to come into your life and provide for you when you don't know what you're doing. It don't make no sense.
Someone might say, you know, the first
Michelle, no.
What'd she say?
She said height is a deal breaker for me. No, he could be
I'm not
amazing.
Offended. Like, I am short and I'm okay with that. Been this way all of my life. And this is where people need to tighten the heck up as humans. I will tell this story because it's fundamentally important to my core. When I was in pre-kindergarten, all the kids lined up.
My God.
You heard the story, right? If I told you the story? What? What oh my God? What I missed?
I'm laughing at you bringing up pre-kindergarten.
Because it made part of who my character is.
Did y'all ride on brontosauruses to get to class?
No, the brontosauruses hadn't evolved yet. So it was just amoeba and like some reptilian creatures. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we lined up and I was the shortest person in the class. And I cried. I was inconsolable. I was destroyed by it. To the point where the school had to call my dad to come pick me up.
He whooped your ass.
My dad came and he said, listen, long story short, you better man up.
Pun intended.
Yep. And get over it because it doesn't matter. Be a man. It doesn't matter. And you'll see that in time. And I was like, the way he said it and the way he phrased it and the way that he gave it to me, I was like, yo, even as a little kid, I remember, like, I was like, yo, I didn't say this in my head because I was a little kid, but the sentiment was, yo, I'm acting like a little bitch right now. I need to tighten up and get over it and man up. And it is ever since then. Like, there's always going to be a tall girl or even a girl my height who's like, nah, I want a Negro who's 6'3". You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I get it.
And I get it, but it has never stopped me from being able to. It hasn't had any kind of a negative impact on my life.
Same.
And as soon as you get over that kind of stuff, the better you'll be.
She
don't like short dudes.
Who?
Michelle.
Oh, you pointed at me. I was like, what?
And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I was the same way with skinny. I had plenty of guys saying, I don't date bags of bones.
Yeah.
And now look at me. You could be successful. You could be successful in your life. Short, skinny. You know, bell pepper nose, you know, bald, big toe is smaller than your middle toe. There's somebody for
somebody
everybody.
Somebody gonna suck that toe. Somebody say, "Come here, girl. Bring me that big middle toe."
All right. Oh my God. Oh.
Give me the finger with your toe.
So I think that we should host a dating class.
I don't know if I'm any good, but I hear
We
what you're
should
saying.
host a dating class because I think it would be really fun, and we can help some people learn how to socialize and find connections and recognize chemistry and connections and all and good energy and all that. I think that would be great. I got a lot of ideas coming up that we about to execute.
My only concern is that we are too far out of the dating fold to have any understanding of what it is. It's almost, and maybe you're right, but at the same time, I almost feel like it's me mansplaining something to a woman.
You dated
you know
a lot before you got married.
In a different era, a completely different era. Why are you stuttering?
You dated a lot before you got married. You've had prior relationships. You have experience. And yes, was social media a big thing back then? Not as much. Was texting and phone calls a little bit different? Yes. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, you still had to connect with that person.
No.
And that's what people are missing. You can social media and text and Zoom all day, and go and get drunk. But at the end of the day, you still have to connect with somebody. And a lot of people are missing that part.
Well, I was honestly always just taken. Like, it wasn't even my choice. These girls would get me drunk and say, "You're mine." And I'd just be like, all right. Here I am.
I cannot.
Drag me by my hair.
I cannot. I'm just going to keep it pushing.
In mine.
All right. We're going to end this on Naj's big or weird word of the day.
What we got to do is what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a long show. You wanted to drag that into deep waters, and we did. So, yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me for wanting to have girl talk.
Exactly. So, where are you starting there, Hoss?
I'm exhausted. I don't want to do that. All right. What's going on this week? Okay. Pause for people. Pause for reading. Practice reading with a furry friend. September 10th and October 8th at 6 p.m. at the Route 9 Library. Mm-hmm. You're going to read to the puppies.
I'm allergic to dogs.
You can't even read, so there's that. Next. Okay. Soul of the City Festival. Our dear friend Darnell Miller has curated another Soul of the City Festival. This is this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we will be there with the Nadj and Jay Lounge. So come and sit with us and have a chat. And we're excited about all the performances.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. The Hispanic Heritage Festival.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sunday, Domingo, Septiembre, from 12 to 5.
You struggling, What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to read the flyer. Hold on. Explorando.
Hold on. This is funny.
Nuestra.
Festival familiar. Entretenimiento. Área infantil. Comida típica. Entrada gratuita. Explorando nuestra cultura hispana.
You sound like your tongue is fat.
Well, but.
Next. All right. Don Lemon is going to be at the Wilmington Public Library for Book Talk September 13th at 6 p.m. He is a New York Times bestseller. So yeah, free event. Go ahead and meet you the hottest lemon. No, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't. Don't put the picture up.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, but Young Jeezy.
Yeah, at the Queen.
Jeezy gonna be at the Queen.
Not so young Jeezy, but yeah.
Right. That is September 13th at 8 p.m. Friday. And then today at 2 p.m., Reverend Al Sharpton will be at what's that say? Go TV rally.
Peter Spencer Plaza.
At Peter Spencer Plaza.
Yeah.
To oppose Bethany Hall Long's Gubernational.
Gubernatorial.
Okay, let me tell you something. That word, whatever, goober in general. I don't like that word.
So you make a point. I have no idea
Why
governor
is,
turns into gubernatorial, but yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
You goober. I had a teacher call the students goobers when they were bad.
That's funny and kind of cute, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we ready for my word?
Say word. Yeah.
Oh God. All right. Nadj's big or weird word of the day. Drum roll, please.
Don't
Oh,
steal my joy.
you stealing mine. Ramfeazled.
Spell it.
RAM.
If we keep doing this, it has to come up on the screen.
Okay.
Ramfeazled.
Ramfeazled. RAMFEEZLED. Tired or exhausted. I am ramfeazled after a long night of cleaning. After the long run during cross-country practice, I am now ramfeazled.
Can I see the word? I just want to look at it. I mean, I can
Right there.
tell, but
It's right
there. Yeah.
Ramfeazled.
So I feel like at some point you're kind of obligated to use it.
I just did.
No, in like, normal conversation. To the point where, if we're being honest, and no one has time for this, but what I would like to do,
I use cornucopia a lot.
if I was if I was functioning as my highest self, we would set this up
so you're a
all
low
the time.
functioning man right now?
Totally, 1,000%. I'm generally low functioning. Let's be clear. We'd set this up whereas, like, all right, we're gonna be at Taki's event, and all right, now go ahead and just have a conversation with one. Like, when the next time somebody asks you how you were,
you ready?
You'd be like, oh man,
it
was a long weekend. I'm ramfeazled.
Ask me about the Midwest.
Hey, so this is how it would be. Like, so we're out doing our Nadj and Jay thing, and I have my camera. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do it right now. All right. So I get the camera up, and I'm like, hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
All right, you're talking to who?
Taki.
You're talking to Taki, and go ahead.
Girl, it's so good to see you here. This event is wonderful. And she says,
hey, and I'm Taki now. I was like, oh, that's great. No, we're having a good time. So how was your trip?
Oh, girl, it was great, but I ended up ramfeazled. I'll tell you what, because it was a lot of work.
And now the camera's directly on Taki, watching her respond to that. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, what the heck did you just say? That'd be funny.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Ramfeazled. Tired or exhausted.
Or at least put them in a post from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, you know
okay.
What I'm saying?
Well,
like,
Nadj and Jay,
child, I woke up this morning feeling ramfeazled.
Oh, wait, so after I said it this morning,
right.
Yara goes, oh, I'm ramfeazled.
Right. Yeah, if you put some kind of like, I figure if you put a cultural affect on it, it's even funnier. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I'm feeling ramfeazled right now. Oh my God.
Honey said, how are you doing today? I'm ramfeazled.
Hey, a nigga mad ramfeazled right now, son.
I'm too ramfeazled. I'm too ramfeazled. Now, I bet you this is probably pronounced wrong. Did it look right?
Say, dog, I'm feeling like I'm
oh my God.
ramfeazled.
Do it with a British accent.
My goodness, I feel ramfeazled.
That's better.
Oh, you think it deserves a British spin?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Only British can say ramfeazled.
Yes.
Oh, I slept terribly and I'm feeling so ramfeazled.
I'm so ramfeazled.
Oh my.
Well, because I'm now ramfeazled from this show, we bid you adieu. Thank you for watching. Catch us this Saturday at the Soul of the City Festival at the Nadj and Jay Lounge. We love you for watching and have a wonderful week. Spread love.
Don't sleep on us unless you ramfeazled.